Hi everybody, really excited to be talking about this watch today as well as these two watches. So we are announcing the launch of Temporal Works. Temporal Works is the Armoury's in-house watch brand. It's a project that we've been working on for 3 years now, and it's finally ready for prime time. So we are starting with this model called the Series A, and the Series A has a few dial variations. It has the Fortune, which is a lacquer dial that I'm wearing now, and it has the Sector, which is a sector dial in gray and also in blue. Now, the idea of the Series A is that we wanted to make the navy blazer of watches, right? We wanted to make something that was easy, versatile, wearable, appealing to a lot of people, you know, something that's kind of hopefully iconic, but definitely like very important in a person's kind of visual repertoire. Now, when it comes to the Series A, obviously we spent a lot of time working on the case. The case is inspired by sport watches from the 1950s, from the 1960s. We've evolved it and developed it a little bit further than that. But the idea is that it's a monoblock case, so there's no separate bezel. It's all just one big piece. And then it's got a screw back on the back, which gives it good water resistance. It's very finely polished. So the front of it actually uses Zaratsu polishing, which is similar to what Grand Seiko does. It's a very clean and fine type of polishing where you get no distortion. And that's really important in a watch like this, right? Like, because it's so reflective and because the geometry is quite considered, we didn't want people to look at it and see like these kind of weird wavy lines or anything like that. There's also these brush surfaces on the sides, on the front, to kind of define the lines of the case a little bit more. You know, like this is a very sculptural case, and we did our best to bring it out with good production partners and with good finishing techniques. Now, as with the dial, the red lacquer dial, it's a nice strong red in the center and then kind of softer, more muted red around the edges, you know, just to help to center the look of it a little bit. I picked a red because it's such an auspicious color and I thought it would be a nice way to launch the watch. As for the sector dials are actually quite minimal. So rather than a very technical sector dial with a lot of markings, we tried to make it more, again, like something in line with our sculptural minimal aesthetic, our hopes for really the Series A. It's got a two-tone effect to it as well, so the 4 quadrants actually reflect light differently, and when you move it around, it's got a little bit of life to it, which I really like. The hands are what we call pen nib hands. So I'm a big fan of the old school alpha hands, which are basically like elongated kite shapes. Pen nib hands are literally shaped like fountain pen nibs. So we did it in 3 facets. So there's a facet on the top that's flat and matte with a hole in the center, and then 2 sloped facets on the side. And when we look at it, it kind of looks like a pen nib. And on certain designs, such as on the Fortune, you know, you actually do see the red come through the middle of the hand, which I really, really like. We also, I want to talk a little bit about how you attach it to the body, right? So we use Jean Rousseau for our leather straps, and we also developed a bracelet with Stab, which is a German maker of mesh bracelets. And they do a wonderful job. And they developed this really interesting tapered mesh for us in a very thin gauge, so it feels a little bit more elegant, a little bit more refined. And then it's got a butterfly clasp like that. Lug width is 19 millimeters. You can actually buy the bracelet separately if you like, not just for a Temporal Works watch, but it would fit on a lot of other watches, because more and more watches do have 19 millimeter lug widths, such as Grand Seiko, in fact. If you're wearing it on a leather strap, then the buckle is very nice. The buckle is kind of inspired by those old dressy buckles you used to see on Pateks, on Vacherons. You know, it comes to a point, but at this time it's like a little bit larger, something that's a bit more in line with the size of the case. And by the way, so ergonomics is an important thing to us, right? Like we're the Armoury, we're all about things on the body, and we wanted the watch to carry, to have that concern for the ergonomics as well, for the feeling of the item on the body. So it's 37 millimeters in diameter. It's just a hair under 10 millimeters in thickness. And when you wear it, it just kind of like melds into the body, you know? Like when you wear it, it feels very seamless. It's not obtrusive. you know, it's the sort of watch that personally I really like to wear, and I find myself wearing a lot. It's not like a one-hit wonder. It's something that can follow you through day-to-day life and be your constant companion. Now, the watches are available immediately. This video is coming out on December 4th. I've shot it a few days earlier. It's coming out on December 4th, and I will be in New York December 4th at our Upper East Side store. If you want to meet me and come and have a chat about the watches, come and see them in person. We're also going to have a little thing on Saturday at the Tribeca store. I'll be there as well, along with our co-designer, Elliot Hammer. So come by, have a chat, see the watches, because it's really worth seeing them in person. They're really quite wonderful in person, and I hope you like it. All right. Check out the website for more details. Hope to see you in New York or wherever you are. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.